Hold on. Stop whatever you're doing. Because what just crawled out of the Blueface swamp this week is not a rumor, it is not a shade post, and it is not a somebody said something story. This is a full-blown biological horror story that has Chrisean Rock, Jaidyn Alexis, a newborn baby, an entire family, and a pregnant new girlfriend named Nevaeh all trapped inside the same nightmare. And by the time we finish walking through the receipts you are about to see, Blueface whole camp is going to wish they never opened this door, because there is no PR spin in the world that scrubs off what these women just told on him. Now, before we take one more step into this, understand exactly what you clicked on. This is not another cute little Blueface headline about him crashing out on Instagram Live. This is the story where his own baby mama, the mother of his son, is basically saying on record that Blueface is walking around infected, that he has been passing whatever he has got to every woman who lets him near her, and that a baby, an actual innocent baby boy, may have paid the price for it. If any of that lands the way it looks like it lands, Blueface is not just cancelled. Blueface is in real, courthouse-level trouble. And the wildest part? He is still online laughing. So let me set the table properly, because if you're new here, half of the Blueface, Chrisean, and Jaidyn universe requires a legal pad and a timeline. Blueface, Jaidyn Alexis, and Chrisean Rock have been tangled up in the same triangle for years. Jaidyn is his longtime baby mama and now fiancé. Chrisean is the ex who blew up alongside him on reality television and became the internet's favorite car crash storyline. And ever since Blueface got locked up, then released, then got engaged to Jaidyn, then moved on to a new pregnant girlfriend named Nevaeh, everyone in that circle has been playing a very public game of who did what to who. What none of us saw coming was that the next chapter would not be a fist fight, would not be a diss track, would not be another leaked argument. The next chapter would be a public health emergency. And here is where the bomb goes off. Word started spreading this week that Blueface has allegedly been carrying multiple sexually transmitted infections, and that he has been spreading them, on purpose, as some kind of twisted revenge for every woman who ever walked away from him. Jaidyn Alexis, mother of his kids, allegedly caught herpes from him. Chrisean Rock, according to her own sister, was allegedly diagnosed with chlamydia while she was in the hospital giving birth. And that same infection, according to the sister, may have been passed to Chrisean's newborn son Junior on the way out of the birth canal. Read that sentence one more time in your head. Because the moment you actually let it sink in, this stops being celebrity gossip and starts being a horror movie. Now let's rewind, because none of this exploded out of thin air. Long before anybody said the words herpes, chlamydia, or C-section out loud on the internet, Chrisean's answer was to send the police. And when officers came through that door in the middle of the night to take Junior back, Terrian grabbed her phone, hit Instagram Live, and lit the entire family on fire in front of the whole internet. That is the live where she said it. On camera. To thousands of people. That when Chrisean was in the delivery room having Junior, she said this is a no-go zone, that Chrisean was foul, that she was disgusting, that CPS had already been involved, that the police showing up at 2 in the morning was not going to intimidate her, that she was not answering her door for anybody, and that every action Chrisean had taken had a reaction coming behind it. Then she dropped the line that told you exactly how much more she was holding back. She said, I could really do bad, but I'm going to keep my little stuff in the tuck. For now. That is not a woman running out of receipts. That is a woman letting you know the folder is still open. Now if the story had ended right there, it would already be one of the messiest weeks Blueface name has ever been attached to. But of course it did not end there. Because the second the internet started chewing on what Terrian said, Jaidyn Alexis stepped in front of a camera and, in a sit-down interview, appeared to confirm the whole thing. Jaidyn suggested she had heard the same story. That Chrisean was allegedly infected when she gave birth. That the baby did allegedly come through the canal. And, most importantly, that Chrisean allegedly picked up whatever it was from creeping back around Blueface while she was pregnant. 2 different women. Same accusation. Same finger pointed at the same man. And that is where this thing pivots from a Chrisean scandal into a Blueface indictment. Because remember, Jaidyn is not some outside observer chiming in for clout. Jaidyn is the woman who has been by Blueface's side through the arrests, through the reality show chaos, through the very public engagement. She is the mother of his kids. If Jaidyn is on camera saying, "Yeah, this is what I heard, this is what she caught, this is where she caught it from," she is not just tossing Chrisean under the bus. She is quietly telling on her own fiancé while she does it. And she is doing it right around the same time a picture of Blueface starts making the rounds online, showing what a lot of people are calling herpes-style bumps right around his lips. And then, days later, another picture starts trending. This time of Jaidyn. Same area. Same bumps. Same timing. The internet is a lot of things, but slow is not one of them. Fans lined those two photos up side by side, and the message was clear. Whatever Blueface allegedly had on his face, Jaidyn allegedly had on hers, and both of them started showing up in public with it right around the same window. Blueface has been photographed with these same kinds of lip bumps before, and every time it happens, his team runs to say it is a keloid, it is razor burn, it is anything but what it looks like. But keloids do not travel from one person's mouth to another's on their own. That is not how keloids work. And once the pattern shows up twice, in two people who have been intimately linked, the internet stops accepting the excuse. And now, in the middle of all of this, here comes Nevaeh, Blueface's new girlfriend, pregnant with his baby. Watching this entire biohazard story unfold in real time with her name attached to it. According to what has been floating around, Nevaeh received a direct message from one of Blueface's alleged side chicks warning her, in writing, to go get tested. The message allegedly told her that Blueface had already infected multiple women, and that she and her unborn baby could be walking into the same trap. Now put yourself in Nevaeh's shoes for 1 second. You are pregnant. You are engaged to the drama. And a stranger slides into your inbox and tells you the man you're having a child with is a walking biological hazard. What do? Nevaeh did the same thing. She asked Blueface to go get tested. And this is where Blueface's response goes from bad to almost cartoonish. Because Blueface, on camera, on a live stream, in front of his own audience, essentially said he does not need to get tested because his girl gets tested at her regular checkups, and if she comes back clean, he assumes he is clean too. He literally said, and I want you to sit with this for a second, when she go in and she come back and say it's clear, that means I'm good. That is the plan. That is the strategy. That is the entire medical protocol from a grown man who has been publicly linked to multiple partners at the same time and who is standing in front of the internet telling a pregnant woman he does not have to go anywhere near a doctor because she already went. His logic is that her clean test is his clean test. His logic is that his body does not need its own check. His logic, in plain English, is that other women are his medical shield. If that did not make your skin crawl, back it up and play it again. Because we are talking about a pregnant fiancé, a new baby on the way, and a whole trail of women behind him who are now saying, in different rooms, on different platforms, on different weeks, that they walked away from him with something they did not walk in with. And it keeps piling up. Because right after that live stream started making the rounds, Blueface uploaded a totally random post of himself holding what looked like a salad plate. Innocent picture. Except the internet zoomed in. And people immediately noticed spots all over his fingers that they were tying right back to the same STD conversation. Now, I'm not a doctor. I am not going to sit here and diagnose a man off a photo. But when your fanbase is looking at your hands the way NASA looks at Mars, you have already lost control of the narrative. Blueface's own audience is out here forensically breaking down every square inch of his skin, and every new post gives them more ammunition. And this is where the story branches into something even messier, because it is not just about who Blueface has been with. It is starting to be about what kind of behavior Blueface has been quietly hinting at for years. There is a growing chunk of the internet that thinks Blueface has been on the low, doing things off camera that would blow up his whole brand if they were confirmed. And to be blunt about it, Blueface is not really helping his own case. Instead of shutting the rumors down, he keeps saying and doing things that pour gasoline on them. Take, for example, the moment Blueface got out of prison and, according to a stream that made the rounds, immediately started suggesting to Chrisean that he wanted to skip the traditional route and use the back door instead. He then went on another stream basically saying he prefers going that way anyway because he does not like the natural discharge from a woman's body. That whole statement did not fly quietly past his audience. Fans immediately started asking why a man who publicly identifies as straight is out here on live streams telling the world he'd rather avoid a woman's anatomy entirely. That was one. The internet started drawing more. Number 2 came from Chrisean herself. Because when Blueface and Chrisean were beefing publicly about her allegedly sleeping with somebody else's husband, Chrisean fired back with a receipt that shook the whole timeline. Chrisean claimed that she had seen gay corn in his recent search history. In her own words, that was allegedly the reason she went and got a cover-up on a tattoo of him. She said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that there is nothing wrong with being bisexual, but a woman deserves to know before she falls in love. Blueface has never really come out and cleanly explained that away. He has denied things, sure. But denials with no receipts against Chrisean's screen history claim did not move the needle for a lot of people. Number 3 came from a moment on the wildly popular Chrisean stream, when Blueface, out of nowhere, admitted to sleeping with a little person. Now that alone would have been enough for the internet to run with. But what happened next was the part everybody rewound. Chrisean, sitting right there, did not do what most partners would do. She did not roll her eyes and ask who the woman was. Her very first question was whether that little person was a man or a woman. And the internet flinched. Because if Blueface is supposed to be straight, that is not the first place your fiancé's brain goes. It just isn't. Fans immediately started saying that Chrisean would only ask that question if she already knew something the rest of us did not. And then came the Cole Carrigan situation. Cole is a popular drag queen who claimed publicly that Blueface had slid into his DMs looking to link up privately for something inappropriate. Cole did not just say it. Cole posted what he described as screenshots. Cole referenced what he described as video evidence. Now, whether every single receipt Cole showed is real or not is its own conversation. But once somebody with a platform starts posting alleged screenshots and referencing alleged clips, the damage is done. The rumor stops being background noise. It becomes a headline. And it forces a response. Blueface response? Denial. He said he was not suing anybody for defamation. He said if fans believed it, that was on them. He said all of this stuff was entertainment to him. He said he separates his real life from what he calls the virtual world, where everyone is lying for likes and approval. He literally called himself the truth and moved on. But that is not really a rebuttal. That is a shrug in caption form. And a shrug does not answer the question a whole lot of his audience is now asking out loud. So let's zoom out. Look at what is on the table right now all at once, in the same 7-day window. Blueface ex Chrisean Rock is being accused by her own sister, on live camera, of exposing her newborn to a chlamydia flare-up in the delivery room. Blueface fiancé, Jaidyn Alexis, appears to publicly confirm that allegation on video while also showing up with visible lip bumps that mirror bumps that had just been photographed on Blueface's own face. Blueface's new pregnant girlfriend, Nevaeh, has allegedly been warned by one of his side pieces to get tested for her own safety and the safety of the child she is carrying. Blueface himself, when asked to go to a doctor, refuses and instead tells his stream that another woman's test result is his test result. And on top of all of that, years of rumors about who else Blueface is allegedly linking with in private are catching a second wind because his own past comments about backdoor preferences and search history rumors and drag queen DMs are all bubbling back to the top. Every single one of these stories on its own would be a bad week for a rapper. Blueface got all of them in the same week. Now, I want to be clear about what this is and what this isn't. This is not a court verdict. Nobody in this story has been proven guilty of anything, and if Blueface really is clean, he can walk into any clinic, pull the paperwork, and end this entire conversation in a single afternoon. That is all it would take. But that is exactly what makes his behavior so loud. Because if you were being falsely accused of infecting the mother of your child, and the mother of another man's child, and possibly a baby, you would not be on a stream making jokes about how your girlfriend's clean test is your clean test. You would be at a doctor's office with a stamped lab result in your hand before lunch. The silence, in this case, is doing more damage than the accusations. And the women? Chrisean and Jaidyn need to make a decision, too. Because if these allegations are true, if Blueface really has been walking around infected and passing it off to whoever he can get close to, then live streams and interviews are not the answer. That is a courtroom conversation. That is medical records. That is lawyers. That is the kind of thing that ends with a settlement or a sentence, not a viral clip. If they are serious, they need to go to somebody with a bar card, not a boom mic. If they are not serious, then they need to stop dangling something this heavy in front of a public that does not deserve to be jerked around with something this dark. And Nevaeh? Nevaeh may be the most important person in this whole story, and nobody is really talking about her. She is the one who is pregnant right now. She is the one carrying a child into the circus. She is the one who got a DM from a woman she does not know telling her that her partner is a health risk. Nevaeh does not owe Blueface loyalty over her own safety. Nevaeh does not owe Blueface silence over her baby's health. And if there is one person watching this story unfold and taking notes, I hope it is her. Fans, of course, are already picking sides in the comment sections. One camp is convinced that everyone in Blueface orbit is contaminated, and that if Chrisean got it from him, then Jaidyn got it from him, and if Jaidyn got it, then anybody else got it too. And that the whole crew needs to log off and go book appointments. Another camp is out here defending Blueface, insisting that the sister has an axe to grind, that Jaidyn is bitter, that Chrisean is unstable, and that none of this is real until a doctor's signature is on it. And then there is a third, quieter camp, the one that keeps pointing back at the newborn and saying, forget the adults for 1 second. If any part of that delivery room story is real, a baby is the one who lost. Not Blueface. Not Chrisean. Not Jaidyn. A baby. And that is where I have to draw the line. Because we can laugh at the memes. We can screenshot the lives. We can pick apart the salad plate photo and zoom in on the lip pictures until our eyes hurt. But the second a child gets pulled into a story like this, the joke stops being funny. And if the accusations that Chrisean's own sister put on Liv in front of the entire internet turn out to be true, this is not a hip-hop drama anymore. This is negligence. This is a family that needs a therapist, a pediatrician, and a lawyer in that order. Now the ball is in your court. Because everyone in this triangle is going to talk. Blueface is going to hop on a live and joke this away. Chrisean is going to fire back at her sister. Jaidyn is going to sit down for another interview. Nevaeh is going to post a soft baby bump picture and pretend her inbox is empty. But you, watching this right now, get to decide what side of this thing history remembers. Do you think Blueface is being framed by a group of women who are tired of him and finally coordinating a takedown? Or do you think this is exactly what it looks like? A man who got too comfortable, got too reckless, and finally left too many receipts behind him? Drop it in the comments. Do not hold back. Tell me who you believe. Tell me who you don't. Tell me what you think should happen to Blueface if even half of what Chrisean's sister said on that live is real. Tell me what you think Nevaeh should do next. And tell me whether you think Chrisean and Jaidyn are actually going to take this into a courtroom or whether this is going to stay right here on our timeline as another chapter in the never-ending Blueface circus. I read every comment. Genuinely. So make it a good one. And listen, if you made it all the way here with me, thank you for staying. Truly. Do me one favor before you go. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, tap the like, and turn the notification bell on, because when the next chapter of this Blueface story drops, and it will drop, you already know we are going to break it down piece by piece the same way we broke this one down. On the way out, do not close the tab yet. There is one more video sitting right there on the side of your screen that pulls back the curtain on another storyline sitting inside this same universe, and once you see how it connects, this whole thing is going to look different. Click it. I'll see you over there.